Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. What's up, everybody? Oh, Jeremy here, creator of Magog. Welcome to Beyond Magog. Tonight's episode is entitled Chillin' Like a Villain, because I'm chilling like a villain, and maybe some people will come in and watch this and talk to me. And I might send out a few links. I did already send out a few links to some people on Twitter, said they might want to pop on.
Hi.
Well, hey there. There to just speak of the demoness.
I guess. How you doing?
There's no female devil, is there? Like, there's no female pronoun.
I mean, not until I take over.
Right? Yeah. I mean, like, I think a female can be a devil, but there's no like female version of the word.
Wouldn't it? Well, deviless. I guess. Yeah, you're right. There isn't. I guess
There isn't, because there's demoness, and then there's like succubus, which is the opposite of an incubus. There's like the male and the female, right? You know?
Yeah.
But there's no like deviler.
You're trying really hard with this one, aren't you?
I'm figuring it out. You have no image.
That's weird. Let me see if I can fix that.
Turn off your camera because it's all black.
I don't have my camera on.
Yeah, but in Google's, if you don't click the little camera icon, it'll just display black.
Well, I mean, there we go.
There it is. There's your little naked unicorn thing. What's up, Purity Sin? Been a long time, girl.
How have you been?
We haven't talked in forever.
Yeah, what's up with that? I talk to Beardbarian more than you.
Well, that's because I don't think you're that important. No.
Ow.
No, it's just I've been busy, and if you don't keep poking me, I might not even see any alerts or anything because I get tons of them. You know? What is that? Is somebody mowing the grass or something in the background?
No, it's a pop machine. Is it too loud?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you're shoving a vibrator up your ass. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, the pop machine was just an excuse, but yeah, you caught me.
Yep.
Mute me for a second. I'll go back to the truck.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that. You'll have to unmute yourself. I shouldn't have invited him, Sin. It should have just been you and me.
See, no, we can't have fun, just you and me in the chat.
You need to stop that.
No. I'm still half asleep.
Oh. Why are you getting on the live stream then if you're still half asleep?
Because it's fun and I'll say something stupid.
Oh, well, yeah. That's good enough for me. Yeah, if anybody would like to donate in order to keep me in this job, doing the things that you love, Streamlabs link is in the description. And, of course, we have the Super Chat option, which DN Bronze Gauntlet is the first to donate, as I've been accustomed to seeing.
Give him the shekels.
Shekels. Thank you, Dean. Anyway, I don't have anything specific to talk about, and I don't have anything. I mean, I could. I guess I can update some of my fans that are in the chat, wondering what's been going on. I'm still looking for the right property to buy, and
I thought you had one.
I do. I just. I don't know. It's turned out to be a bastard to get fixed up to build on. So
it's never easy with that kind of thing. Trust me, I'm finding it out.
Yep. Yeah. So
although I wish mine was buying a place, not trying to get rid of it.
Well, I suppose that's even bigger headache because the market is iffy right now. I'd wait. You might get more hits in the spring, later in the spring, early summer.
I wish that was the way we're doing it, but unfortunately, legally, I can't talk about it too much. But 17 years, and I have to leave the place. I had to leave the place I called home.
Oh yeah, well that sucks. Why are you getting kicked out? Is the landlord selling the place out from under you?
No, it got infested with well, it's had mold for apparently all 17 years, and they never fixed it properly. And it completely infested the place. And when we asked them, because it was a condo and a condominium, you can imagine the pain in the ass that is. When we asked them to fix it, instead of fixing it, they decided to run us out by using slander against me, physically attacking us, and other things.
Well, obviously that part is bad, but the whole mold thing, I
Worse.
figured it's probably for the best you get the fuck out.
Oh yeah, no, that place can burn for all I care.
Yeah. So, I don't know how you're going to sell a place with mold.
There's interested parties, is all I can really say right now.
Right. Okay. Well, I hope it all works out for you. Personally, I'm having problems with the finances. The bank I went to said I might only qualify for 70,000, and that's better than nothing because last year I couldn't even get a fucking loan. But it is not as high as I thought it would be, and it's mostly because my first year on YouTube, 2017, I was growing the channel, so I didn't make as much money. So my second year, 2018, I made really great money. I broke like 40 grand, right? I was like 42,000 last year.
Oh, that's nice.
But they take 2017 and 2018 and then they
combine them.
Yeah, they average it out. And
did you also add stuff like shirt sales?
Oh yeah, that's when you go get a loan, you take your taxes, and if you don't claim that stuff on your taxes, you're an idiot because that's a great write-off. But,
right?
We
had to do that when we were originally going to buy a house instead of renting when we were leaving. And they said you've got the great credit for it and everything. It's just that because of the way Patreon is and YouTube is with the whole money, you have to wait 1 more year.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'll rent for a year then. All right. But I know you want to build like the whole town and everything.
Yeah, I got to start with a studio and then we'll work on it. But basically, 70K is probably all I'll be able to get. And even in Arkansas, 70K won't buy you much.
I mean putting a down payment and getting a mortgage.
Well, that's the mortgage. 70K is.
Oh, I thought that was like the physical you could get. Oh wow! Ooh.
No, that's a 70,000 mortgage. That's not a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's places I can buy. I mean, there's plenty of single wide mobile homes that
just go to Detroit. You could basically buy all of Detroit with that.
Yeah, pretty much. Right.
Just turn it into a medieval. I mean, it already is, but you could make it even more medieval.
I see it more as a dystopian cyberpunk place. Detroit.
Why not mix them?
No, I don't like mixing genres. Not when it comes to Magog. Magog is pure fantasy medieval. I'm sorry. It's just it's my choice. It's my choice. My choice.
Wow. I mean, you could always, worst comes to worst, do you have anyone that can co-sign?
Yeah, I do, but that's not really going to help because the person that would co-sign for me is my dad. And he won't be living at that primary residence, so that causes some issues. I'm going to figure it out. If I can't find a place in that range, now she did say that her underwriter has to take a look at it because there might be some rule changes, or she might be able to talk the bank into giving me a chance on a little bit higher because I've been with that bank for 20 years. So I'm still waiting for the final official call, but she said today from the number she saw, I probably wouldn't get more than 70K. That being said, at least I can get something, which puts me on a better road than I was last year. And so I might, because the problem with the 12.5 acres that we already own is that it's really far off the road. So getting internet back there would cost some serious money. Because I'd have to have the internet company actually run a line all the way down that easement. Second thing is we spent $2,500 to clear that first 3/4 of an acre, and it didn't perk. And you have to have a perk test done in order to put a septic tank in. And if it doesn't perk, you can't put a septic in that area. So we'd have to spend more money to clear even more to find a place that'll perk.
Yeah, it sounds like a money hole.
What the hell does perk mean?
Perk test is it's a test they do to see how deep the groundwater table is. You don't want to sink a septic tank into a fucking, part of the land that the groundwater is 6 inches below the surface. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put a septic
Florida.
Yeah, you don't want to put a septic tank. You need a good amount of like dirt beneath your feet to put a septic in. And that's why I'm pretty sure that's why they call it a perk. I'm not an expert on perking land, but I'm pretty sure that's why they call it perk. They drill down and they see how far the drill gets before water comes out. you know. Yeah, it's short for percolation. It's about the drainage of the land. It's about the fucking drainage. Jim Adams said that percolation. I was right, Jim Adams. Thank you, Jim Adams. Yeah, it's about proper drainage of the water. But there it goes up. The land goes up, and there's this nice flat spot in the woods. And the guy told us, man, if you clear that, I guarantee it'd perk up there. You know. Because there's a little bit of a slope. There's a little bit of a slope, and that's why it wouldn't perk right on the front of that property there. Now, it's not in a floodplain. It's not enough to slope. I'm not worried about flooding, but I am worried about, it needs a proper place to have a septic put in. Now, luckily, a well ain't going to be a problem because we found out the water isn't very deep. We found out that real quick. We hit a water table pretty quick on that land. So anyway, that would just cost a shit ton of money, and I don't have the cash to do that up front. And then the third thing we had a problem with that land, besides the internet and the perk test, was that we've been fighting Faulkner County now for 3 or 4 months trying to get a fucking address. Like it's on the map. We have a deed to it. I
don't mean to laugh. It's just
yeah. I mean, they can't make up their minds. It's like, okay, so here's the situation. We have a deed. It's on the maps. It's not like we bought land that doesn't exist. It's there. It's the middle of 3 12.5-acre plots that are equal size. So we have the middle one. The other 2, front and back, are owned by other people. Well, we bought that one as just kind of some fun land to go hunting and shoot guns and ride 4-wheelers around years ago, and we've been paying on it since, and we almost own it. And on their maps, it's just labeled like plot A, B, and C. And so they're like, well, in order to get electricity out there and internet and all that stuff, you're going to need an address. So we went to Faulkner County. Faulkner County doesn't know what to name that property because it's technically not on any road. It's down an easement.
So they don't. Kingdom of Magog.
So they don't know what to name the damn street. They don't know what to name the easement in order to give me a fucking address. And I'm like, there's a road right out there. Why don't y'all just extend Brown Road up to the fucking property? Or Bill Road, but I don't remember. Brown, it's a color. Green Road. See, I don't even know the address because it's always just been the land that I go to shoot guns. Like I know my way there. I just can't remember the street names. But whatever, the Gray Road. Like, why not just extend Gray Road down to my property and fucking give me an address?
You would think because you own the place, you could just tell them to do that, and they'd be like, okay.
We did tell them to do that, and they're like, well, that we'd have to take that to the county commission, and they would have to make that judgment. Okay, how long is that going to take? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, how about you get your fucking boss?
That would be too much work.
I need a fucking address, you asshole. So if I can solve the address issue and I can get a loan that size, I could potentially take 10 grand of that loan and have the land cleared more. Right? And then get septic water and then build a place for about 50 grand.
Never can be simple.
No, it never can be. And because of all that stuff, we just gave up on the whole property thing. Like, well, I'll still use that property to like build the village on because it's just a big, nice piece of property that I own. But I thought about just buying a little place that I would live at separately and build like the indoor studio at. And then I could build the village on that land when the time comes. Sure, it'll be a separate place and I'll have to drive out there to film, but who cares, right?
Plus, you could like potentially live in the city limits where you get better internet.
Right, that's the other thing too. Is I've been looking at properties that are closer to the city that get really good internet, like cable and fiber optic. And every property I've looked at for the past week, I've literally gone every day to look at a property and meet real estate agents at different properties all week. Even today, after I did my Jussie Smollett video today, I was out the fucking door because I had 2 properties to go look at. Every property I've looked at, I've made sure that I'm only looking at properties that meet my minimum requirements, which is internet and a little bit of land around it in case I got to build a shop or something to have a studio. So I'm looking for like 1-2 acres with a little something on it that I can just move right into, right? Every property I've gone to has either had an offer already on it, so they're not accepting offers, which means it's still on the market, but somebody's buying it. It's a foreclosure, or it doesn't meet my needs as far as land. It's almost like I'm just not having that good fucking luck. I'm really not. Anyway, I sent out some links. Jables Bookley says, can I get an invite? So I sent him a link. And Adian Bronze Gauntlet says, watch out for that one, Timmy. She has molds. Yeah, she has molds. So I don't know. Maybe people are kind of tired of hearing me talk about my living situation. So I guess I'm done with that. What's up, guys? What have y'all been up to? What have y'all been up to? What?
I was saying lately, moved to North Carolina, staying with some friends and trying to get a place, and having to deal with car dealers that won't give us straight answers, and figuring out how to get a license in that state. Apparently, I found out that apparently I have to have insurance on myself, liability insurance, in case I use somebody else's car in order to get a license in North Carolina.
Well, yeah. They're not going to just let you drive around.
Well, I mean, here you could just buy a car without even having a license.
You don't have to have a license to purchase a car. It's an object. You have to have a license to drive a car, and you have to have insurance.
You'd be amazed how many in Florida don't.
Yeah, but you got time. You got time to get insurance. There's like a 30-day grace period before you have to get insurance.
I'll put it this way, like Colorado where I live, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in the majority of the country. I can drive a buddy's car, and his insurance will cover anything if I get in an accident, depending on the coverage he's got. The insurance I have to have is on my person, so that if I get in an accident with my buddy's car, my insurance covers it instead.
I was wrong about that, by the way. It's a 30-day grace period to get your tags. You have to have insurance when you purchase a car. If you're purchasing it through like a loan, like if you're going to be making payments, you have to have full coverage, and you have to have it like the day you buy the car. Yeah. However, if you buy a car at a used car dealership and pay cash for it, and you own the damn thing, and all they do is sign the title over to you, technically, I guess you have to have insurance.
Not here.
Who the fuck is gonna know unless you get bowled over? At least that's here in Arkansas. I could go down the street and buy a car off somebody. I don't have to have insurance. But that's the thing too, is like, why would you not want insurance? What if something happened to your friend's car? If your current friend doesn't have the type of insurance that'll cover other drivers, like if he loans his car to a friend, then I would definitely get insurance. So, because you don't want to have to replace your buddy's car if something happens. Yeah, he disappeared again. So
he did. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I've seen people do that kind of thing, and I couldn't imagine not having like some kind of insurance just in case. And I know around here, with certain insurance companies, they make you have that insurance in case you have an extra driver or you have somebody borrowing your car. In fact, I know one insurance company that I had for a short time. If you were going to have somebody borrow your car, I think it was for more than 3 or 4 days, you actually had to call your insurance person and tell them so that they could put them on there. Like they had to have a copy of the driver's license and all of that.
Yeah, if you're gonna loan your car out for any extended period of time, you have to call your insurance company and tell them you're doing that. That way, if something happens to the car while the other person's driving it, the liability doesn't fall on you; it falls on that driver. And that's a good thing. You don't want your fucking insurance premiums to go up because your friend wrapped your fucking car around a tree when he borrowed it from you.
True that. Because then you're going to wrap their head around the tree next.
Yeah, but, well...
I like that. Nah, much cheaper to replace the friend.
Yeah, it is, actually. technically.
Oh, I know the insurance. The insurance stuff here in Florida is fucking stupid. I've gotten hit a couple of times, and one of them, they had no insurance, no collision insurance, and they still demanded the cop give a ticket. And the cop's like, "You guys have no insurance. You don't want us to give a ticket to either of you. They would be bad."
Yeah, I mean, uninsured drivers is whew, that's
They're
a
fine.
that's a pricey ticket. They're lucky they had a cop that didn't want to do the paperwork.
Well, the cop, because he had to give the ticket, and the whole court thing, and then the in court he told the judge because they didn't show up. They made this whole big deal about give the tickets, give the tickets. They didn't end up showing up, and the judge just threw out our ticket. He's like, "This is stupid. You guys have your insurance and stuff. You guys shouldn't have gotten the ticket. You didn't start the act. You didn't cause the accident."
Right. If anybody else would like to join our conversation about insurance and car driving in Florida, DM me. My DMs are unlocked, and I could throw you a link if you were really interested in hopping on and saying hi.
For the love of God, if anyone's going to drive in Florida, please learn to use your turn signals. Like that, you would think that's a joke, but it's not.
For the love of
that is a problem everywhere.
For the love of God, if anybody's going to live in Florida, don't.
Yeah, no, take me away, please. I would do anything to get out of here.
Funny, because my wife wants to go in.
I can understand the appeal of Florida as a vacation, but never to live.
No, never to. And I live in one of the better parts. No, you don't want to live here. Like the whole Florida man shit, you see some insane, and I'm not talking about like the gators that'll just cross the street with the turn signals. You see some crazy shit here. That's considered normal.
Yep. There's a reason why Florida man is infamous.
He needs his own comic book. Never mind. I don't think that would ever be safe for anybody.
I honestly think that if somebody ever did that, you would never run out of material because all you'd have to do is just borrow actual Florida man stories and then basically just draw them out.
True that. There you go. We gave somebody a free comic book idea.
Yeah, if somebody really want to do a Florida man comic, you might get sued for calling him Florida man. Yeah, I don't know if Florida would like that so much, especially if you made money off of it.
Our politicians are. All you have to do is wave something in their faces, and they'll be fine. I don't even know what it is. I don't know which one it is. Which politician would go after you at this point?
Who knows? And we are joined by Jables Boogly.
Yes. Hey, Hayden.
I thought it was Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. I get that a lot, actually.
You don't actually look like that. That's just a cartoon, right?
And actually, that cartoon was drawn by my ex-girlfriend, based on me. So I kind of do look like that.
Aww.
That's both sad and fun.
At least you have a cosplay, always.
Yeah, I guess. I'm a lot fatter than I am in the drawing. So.
Well, then you're definitely not Shaggy from Scooby-Doo because he's high all the time and never gains weight from all his snacking.
I never said I wasn't high all the time. So.
Yeah.
Well, apparently you're not doing it right.
Slipknotty06 says Florida Man is one of the greatest subreddits ever. And Adian Bronze Gauntlet, who I just sent a link to, says it's time to invite Adian so he can stab Jables. I already invited you, you dumb shit.
Oh, hey, Rimshi.
But thanks for the money.
Now, Magog, I've heard being mean to your fans is a bad thing.
My fans literally pay me to be mean to them.
So do mine. No,
I've had so many
YouTubers. I've had so many YouTubers yell at me and say, "You're not allowed to be mean to your fans." What if they get mad at you? I'm like, they literally pay me to talk dirty to them and talk down to them.
There's such a thing as masochism.
Yeah.
Drunken Uncle was able to make a video. Fan said it himself. He used to make fun of.
It's basically financial domination.
Tell those people that are telling you not to be mean to your fans to fuck off, because Rimshi in here is actually a co-host on a show that we do on Fridays. And we're mean to our fans all the time.
sideline. You've invited me multiple times to be a guest on your show, but you had to make it on Fridays when I do side quests, didn't you? You just had to do that. You just had to do that. I'm just throwing that out there, man. You just had to do that.
Yeah. My God.
Blame
Okay,
Jeff
so
and Nick.
the issue there is that we're actually a pre-show for the YouTube Saints, and they made their show on Fridays, so we had to make our show on Fridays. Trust me, I'd much rather do it on Saturdays or Sundays.
Yeah, and even though your show is earlier, I don't want to come on before SideQuest because I do a lot more prepping for SideQuest than most people do for streams. Have you all seen SideQuest and the shit I have to fucking do?
You have all the makeup and everything that you have to do. We totally understand.
And how many graphics cards have you gone through by now?
But however, I occasionally do offshoot Google Hangout days where I just like talk about something that's bugging me that day.
Right.
And so you're more than welcome to join in on any of those. I'll be sure to DM you links whenever I do something like that.
Yeah, I will totally ignore those.
Yep, I know you will because you haven't responded to any of my DMs.
Well, it's mostly because I hate you.
As well, you should.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, man, it's just like you got such a small channel, and I don't want to waste my time. No,
That's what he invited me on because I got a bigger channel here.
That's harsh.
That's funny. No, I try, man. I try to make it to shows, but I've also kind of one of my New Year's resolutions this year was to start doing more shows myself instead of going on other people's because that was like really eating up a lot of my time. Like, and it's not that I have anything against joining people's shows. I love meeting new people and trying to help out and, hosting and things like that, and or just being the guest. But I got to start doing way more content if I want to grow. So
then get your ass in here and work.
Exactly.
Well, and also like hopping on other people's shows is really good to grow your own channel. But once your channel has already grown to a certain point, it's not necessarily beneficial. It may be fun to be on the other people's shows, but it's not necessarily beneficial to your channel.
Well, not always true.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I've got 73,000 subs, and I'm sitting here with you guys, you itty bitties.
Yeah, but I've seen I've seen your. I've also been to your channel and seen your views.
Yeah, you can thank YouTube for that. Every time I put out a video, they're like, "Oh, is this got porn on it?" No, not this time. Okay, we're gonna hide it anyway. But
maybe you should rethink your content.
No.
It doesn't matter. New YouTube is going to nerf her shit no matter what.
Yeah, no, at this
That's
point.
because you play them naughty video games for an hour and a half,
I took the naughty bits out. Besides, I'm more popular on XVids than Pornhub, so what does it matter?
Yeah, exactly. You don't
no idea.
Unlike Twitch, that just
you shouldn't. You don't need to know what's going on, Adian.
Wait, hold on, Purity. Can I get some Can I get some links?
I can give them to you later.
And post those in the chat there. And Doc Griffin is in the chat. What's up, Doc? He says, wait, Saints is still running? Yeah, they are. They're still running. They're not as good as SideQuest, but
debatable.
Ooh, challenge
drop. Magog, I know for a fact they already talked to you about changing their times, and they changed their times lately. So
yeah, well, just for the Friday. I mean, because they don't do Saints on Monday, but no, we worked with them to make sure we weren't overlapping. Their show ends right when my show starts, so there's no overlap, so people can leave the Saints and come to SideQuest. And Hemlock Moonwolf will be making a character appearance one day on SideQuest here soon.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful.
I'm working with...
right now, to be fair, this is all assuming that they actually end on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they end on time. That is right. Grinners asks, when are we going to get another episode of SideQuest where you inhale a pipe smoke and drop a burning cinder on your crotch? Never!
Do it.
Don't ever want to do that again. I actually burned a hole in my favorite pair of pants.
Oh, you poor thing. That's like my co-host stabbing himself and then trying to show everyone how he did it and stabbing himself a second time live on camera.
Fucking genius.
Yeah, I came on because he was doing a Gundam build. and he's screaming that he just stabbed himself, and I'm like, how did you stab yourself?
Oh,
He's like this, and then he does it again. He goes, he just starts screaming, and I'm like, you fucking retard.
All right, calm it down. God, I can't fucking think with all you voices in my head.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing from
No
the
one tell him we're
abnormal, is
not
it?
real.
Jesus Christ, I'm never going to invite this many people again. By the way, Doc, I sent you a link.
You shouldn't even have invited me.
Yeah, but
What's wrong with you?
Brad Young in the chat says, where can we get the unedited version of Meet Medusa, Magoo? Medusa is the topless meat witch that has appeared in beginning of my last 2 videos, and you will never get those uncensored because Medusa doesn't want to be uncensored publicly. So,
no.
But I am working with another girl who literally does porn, so she has no qualms about being uncensored, and those will go up on BitChute.
I like how you didn't invite me.
That's Anne.
You never show your fucking face.
I'm literally a naked fucking unicorn.
You're a cartoon, and the Magog Morse card channel does not do cartoons.
I'm sorry. Are you cartoonist?
Yes.
That joke doesn't work when cartoonist is an actual thing. Damn.
Yes, I am.
That's not prejudice.
It's nothing against.
I hate the British and the Canadians.
Everyone hates the British and the Canadians. It's not fair.
Damn it.
Wait, what? Where did that come from?
Right.
Oh, that's just my prejudice against the British and Canadians.
French Canadians are the worst.
Hey, I'm part French Canadian.
They don't exist.
I'm right here. I'm also Native American, so.
Yeah, I just like how I can start a show on my channel and then just let a bunch of people talk and not do anything.
See, that's how you do it. That's when you know you made it.
Jeremy's just smoking a cigarette, watching some videos on Pornhub while we're talking.
Get out of my head.
What you don't know,
the best part about it is
right now.
he's getting paid for it.
Yeah. I've already paid him minus YouTube, it's like $3.
Yes, thank you. That $3 will go a long way.
That's half a pack of cigarettes for you, bud.
Fucking cheapskate.
I donate every single stream. You can handle it.
You damn Skippy. Ever since you discovered SideQuest, you've been donating, and I appreciate it.
I have been here since the half a month, 6 months after you started. I just didn't like talking to people.
Yeah, that's understandable. And now look at you. You're on a stream with a bunch of other retards.
You did it. We're so proud of you. You learned to talk to people and socialize.
Can we talk about the disproportionate amount of people like Jeremy that actually have YouTube channels?
I just can't wait until you go to boot camp and then you're like on Monday nights, you'll be all like nervous and shit because the drill sergeant will be yelling at you. Why are you so nervous, sir? I'm missing SideQuest, sir.
It's true.
What branch?
Army.
Oh, never mind.
Join in the army.
Oh.
Fuck you too.
You want to know what it sounds like when shit hits the fan? Army.
That actually reminds me of the fucking stupidest Twitter argument I ever got into.
Yeah,
Some other liberal ass truck driver is. You ever seen this shit called tactical baby gear?
Why does your
avatar
look?
It's on they advertise it on TGC.
I have a question about everything you're saying right now.
Yeah, go back and explain that again.
Questions.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I have a question. It's very important, and it pertains to everything you were saying. Why does your avatar look like a Wii character?
It's a Bitmoji.
Go fuck yourself.
I can't afford. I was gonna have Viper draw me one, but I can't afford to pay her for her work, so I just used the Bitmoji app to make some because it's been a pain in the ass trying to do face cam for videos, so I switched to this so I could make videos easier. But that tactical baby gear thing though. No, so I got in an argument with some truck driver who's telling me that any guy who buys this stuff, mind you, it's diaper bags and stuff for babies that's just designed to look like tactical gear. Apparently, guys that buy that have fragile masculinity just for simply owning it.
I mean,
Yeah,
girls kind of find it hot when guys are willing to, take care of the kids.
that was a whole lot of words there.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm just carving words into my desk.
So tactical baby gear is just baby shit, like a carrying bag for the diapers and all that stuff, and
So tactical.
it's tactical stuff.
Did anyone
I get it. I get
military
it.
tactical
They
gear for babies?
want
even
dads to
claim
look cool while they're carrying the fucking baby gear, like the fucking
Never happened
diapers
to
and
just having
bottles
a
and
diaper
shit.
bag with the Ninja Turtles on it. Damn.
Well, they even claim that the diaper changing mat is 3A armor.
In other words, dads are going to be stupid enough to spend as much money as the women are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even car companies did that shit. They try to cater to like dads and moms. It's like it's a minivan, but it's got a turbo in it. Like it's still a fucking minivan.
A fool and his money are soon parted.
You always know it's a new dad when he test drives a minivan. He's like, I know it's a minivan, but look at the space there is, and man, it's got a lot of pep. Go fuck yourself, man. You need a midlife crisis right now.
That's him trying to justify to himself that this is actually worth getting when he knows that he needs to, but doesn't want to pinhole himself into, I just drive a guy van and I have no real use for my balls anymore.
Yeah,
there's two types of guys that buy minivans. Drug users like myself, and and guys that actually need one.
When they're driving a minivan, explaining how roomy it is, and it's got a pretty peppy little engine in their head, they're like, I really wish my wife hadn't taken my balls away.
I really wish there
smart
was a
dad
piece of
buys
rope
the,
at home
Ford
already
Escape.
free-tied for me.
I wish I had visiting rights with my balls.
If I was a car salesman, I would literally get in the minivan with the guy because I would never sell a guy a minivan unless he specifically asked for one. And when I got it, you want to test drive this minivan? The guy'd be like, yeah. I'd go get the keys and I'd be riding with him, be like, okay, just drive around. How does it feel? And then I'd just turn, and he'd be like, it's pretty good space. I've got room for the kids, but it's got a little pep to it. I still feel like a man driving it. And I just look at him and be like, all right, well, head on down the street here. We're going to go to the doctor, and we're going to see if that doctor can find the ghostly outline where your balls used to be and see if he can fit you with some new ones.
I miss guys that would just get a truck, stick their kids in the back of the truck, and go, good luck, kids, hang on.
We're going to put him on a calving table and castrate him.
We have too many nanny state laws preventing from happening anymore.
Yeah,
most people.
Okay,
I'm really happy that I live in a state where it's okay for kids to sit in the back of the truck.
One at a time, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I grew up in an area where 15 and 14-year-olds were driving their parents' farm trucks to school because they only lived like 5 miles away.
We still have that around here.
You say that about nanny state. I'm in California. Just feel sorry for me.
Oh, you poor bastard! We need to save you.
No, I actually disagree with that. No, I disagree with that. Every time somebody's all like, I live in California, feel sorry for me because, every time it's like, oh, fucking California. I've changed my mind about California. Here's how I see it. We need more people like you to be in California and eventually one day raise your kids to be like you and actually have a brain in your head. And maybe one day California will go red instead of fucking blue.
Someone agrees with me. Thank fuck.
That's what Rimshi keeps telling me.
We need to. We need to.
I'll help you out. I got a place for you.
We need to breed the stupid out of California. Okay.
You know what I'm hearing is everyone raise money to get Magog a place there. See if he keeps saying it when you do that.
We need to get Magog a mansion.
To do what I want to do, let's start to do what I want to do, and you guys want me to do it in California, let's start the GoFundMe at, say, $2 million.
No, Jesus, yeah.
Well, that depends on where you're doing it. If you're doing it in the Bay Area, fuck, you're not even gonna.
Well, I ain't doing it in the desert.
But if you go further north, if you go more towards, the area that wants to separate and become its own state called Jefferson, it would actually be fairly cheap.
Isn't that the far north?
Is that where there's always fire?
Yeah, there's don't get me wrong, there are places in California that are cute little Americana towns that aren't that expensive to live at, and everybody keeps to themselves, and most of them are conservative, and they always get outvoted by the bigger cities, but I still don't want to live in the West Coast. I just don't want to fucking do it.
Hey, guys, it's all going to sink in the ocean anyway.
I just don't want to do it. I'd have
Maybe we
too
can help
much.
it along.
I'd have too much.
Actually,
I'd have too much temptation to firebomb San Francisco.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
that's actually
I have no
entire
comment
West-
on that.
that's
I cannot
actually
make a
the-
comment on that. I am too
Hey,
close.
one at a time. Stop interrupting each other. I'll start booting your fucking
Hellfire
asses.
missiles.
I will start
Yeah,
booting your fucking asses.
Jeremy, that's actually the entire West Coast where there's like a few major cities in each state on the entire West Coast that control all of the voting, and then there's the rest of the state that does not agree with that one major city.
Well, of
Yeah,
course.
that's pretty much the difference between the coast and inland.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, I'm really happy staying here because the prices are so cheap. It's just I don't have the money. It sucks to live in such a cheap state where like a really nice piece of property that would totally fit every one of my needs is only like $130,000, but I can't get a fucking loan for that to save my life, even with all the money I've made last year. And I'm gonna make less this year simply because the Patreon thing just fucking screwed me. I lost 70% of my fucking income.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think I'm inviting you retards on a stream like this? I'm just here for some money, man.
Love you
Hey,
too.
Magog, you want 2 more
Well, that
dollars?
is-
Special.
Well,
I
I already
definitely
donated.
don't know why you invited me onto here. I only got 260 subs. Most people don't even know I'm here right now.
I have literally
Oh.
0 subs.
That's
I gotta
because
fuck
0
myself.
content.
We
That's
found the
because-
first one for you to boot.
that's because you're shit as a dominatrix. Get it, subs? Ha! Nobody gets me.
So funny.
Nobody gets me.
So let's talk about starting the 8th Crusade.
Yo, what's up?
Wasn't that already going on in Europe right now?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Do
why
you
is it
smoke?
that we were about to have a really bad idea? We say Europe's been doing it for years.
Because
Yeah.
we did not do anything Europe's doing.
I swear to God, if I hear one more progressive like, we should be more like Europe, my fist is going to stop right in their fucking eyeball. Like, right there.
Why would it stop in the eyeball? You got to have that follow through.
These guys.
I don't disagree. We should be more like Europe. We should.
I did take an autographed photo to I did take an autographed photo to my real estate agent today because she in the process of trying to help me find a place asked me what I do for a living, and I told her because I'm not going to lie, and she watched my show, and she's like a mom with kids and a husband, but she doesn't like to like curse and stuff because she's all church girl. But she leaned in, she was looking around, making sure nobody was listening. She was like, "I totally fucking agree with you," and I was like, "Ooh,
Oh, that's beautiful.
you said a no word." She watched
Isn't it amazing when you get fans like that? Like I get so many that they're like, yeah, we're parents, and when the kids go to bed, we watch your stuff. And I go, I have no idea how to respond to that. Thank you. Can you do this audio file for us? And then I'll read them and be like, oh dear God, your parents?
I have fans that are like, "Oh, me and my kids totally watch your show. Why are you making your kid?" I mean, thank you, but Jesus Christ!
They probably let their kids listen to heavy.
Yeah.
One of those guys. Like my
I gotta
dad.
curb the topless meat wenches now that I know kids are watching.
No, you have to add more.
That's true.
Just remember,
Raise
every
them
time you
right.
get up in that
It's the
makeup,
internet. They're gonna be exposed to it anyway. Fuck it.
just remember, every time you get in that makeup, some 5-year-old's watching you.
It's
Oh, no.
Uncle Magog.
Well, I mean, you're gonna lose your audience with the wench now that the UK is gonna have a wanking license. I'm gonna lose most of mine. Why
Speaking,
did the UK do terrible ideas?
that's
Well,
why
the
you
UK
gotta
is-
focus. You gotta focus your content for America only, because we're gonna be the only free goddamn country in the world before you know it.
So what I'm
And
hearing
free
is
is
wrap
relative.
my girls in an
Yeah.
American flag. I can do that.
It's
Mhm.
Uncle Magog and the Magog Show.
Let me tell you something. Speaking of channel stuff, though, like this whole like idea I had at the beginning of the year to switch my content from like one long video a week to multiple small ones that come out like almost every day, and they cover trending topics. They got hashtags linked to them. Totally working. I have gained from the Mueller video and the Jussie Smollett video today. I have gained well over 200 subs in 2 days.
And how are they still monetized?
Yep.
Wow. Oh yeah. I guess YouTube hasn't gone hardcore after you like they have me.
They used to, but once I changed my my content to not incorporate as much actual like other people's content. Like when I would respond to an SJW video that uploaded, you know, like some channel like Riley Dennis or somebody like that would upload a video, I'd take their video and I'd mix it into my video and I'd get demonetized instantly. But if you use like Fox News, CNN, like clips to talk about something, they're like public domain. They don't tag me. They never come after me.
That's a surprise.
Now
it makes sense.
Yeah, because it's for public reporting. I mean, now don't get me wrong. If you download video directly from CNN's YouTube of like Don Lemon's show, I call him Melon, but if you do that, then you might get a CNN tag. But I rip a lot of the news clips from Twitter, so the algorithm doesn't recognize the video.
That's the difference.
See, seriously, go to Twitter and find a video, because they'll always do clips. They won't do the whole like 30-minute CNN report. They'll do clips of it, of the most important parts, right? Grab one of those by saving the link to the tweet and then go to Google and type in Twitter downloader and then just paste that link, download, and boom.
So the reason why you don't get caught by that is because that clip is everywhere at that point anyway.
Well,
so
it's not that. No, it's not that. It's that YouTube can only connect through its algorithm content ID on videos uploaded to YouTube.
YubTub stays with YubTub.
Yep. They don't. The algorithm doesn't understand how to recognize the metadata from a video from another website.
Okay.
Now I get demonetized. Like every live stream I upload pretty much gets demonetized. So
I think it's like everybody has that issue.
Yeah, and if I do videos from YouTube, I get demonetized. And sometimes if I do videos that are just over a particular topic, they get demonetized. And even when I appeal them, they come back and say, sorry, this is not suitable for all advertisers. So like when I covered, and YouTube's starting to do some real shady shit. You go to my comment sections on the Mueller video that I did, because over the weekend the Mueller report was delivered, and they came out and said no further indictments will come down, and that really upset the left. I did a video on the Mueller thing and been like, "Ha, no indictments," and made fun of the left and called them a bunch of fucking losers that lose all the goddamn always. And that video didn't get demonetized, but because it had the Mueller hashtag and Mueller in the title, go read the comments. And even I did when I watched my own video. I got an impeach Trump ad.
Oh wow. It doesn't surprise me, but
no, ever since I watched that video, I've been getting impeached Trump.
Your video even showed up in my notifications or my subscription.
Yeah, I literally go to the comments of the Mueller video. You'll see like 60 people. I got an impeach Trump ad. I got an impeach Trump ad.
Gee, it's almost like YouTube knows what they're doing.
And you know what? I let it play. And you know why? Because I love the idea of me making money off of some propaganda that I'm not going to believe. I'm taking their money, and they're not changing my mind one bit.
Well, your audience, it's nice to know that. Share the same mindset.
Funny thing is, it also happens the other way around, because I have a side channel that's not, I don't pay for Red on this channel. I just use it to subscribe to SJW channels to find content. But one of the videos I was going on to was a Steve Shives video about gun laws we should repeal. And when I opened it up to watch it, it gave me an NRA ad.
Beautiful.
Oh, shit.
The ads I hate are those like 6-minute long. The guy starts out like, now don't click off the ad. I've got a way to make you money. Like if you just watch my free training video, I can show you how to make $2,000 a day. And I'm like, skip.
Hey, the one of the few skippable ads I actually remember was I forget who was in it, but they had two celebrities and they just sat there saying absolutely nothing for the first 5 seconds that it ticks down. Skippable ad. The only reason I even watched that ad because it caught me off guard. It wasn't that right in your face. We're selling you something now.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen hour and a half long ads that were like that on a 10-minute video.
I'll tell you what, YouTube, this was a couple of months ago, and I guess they stopped. They were trying to push really, really hard for us to start using the non-skippables. Like they were really every video I was scheduling. It was like, you really should use this. Did you use this? We're gonna use it for you. And I'm like, what the hell, YouTube? Because right after they do it, it's like, by the way, you may lose people this way. I'm like, then why are you suggesting it?
This is how you convince people to get ad block is non-skippable fucking ads. Fuck that
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
It either results in ad block or what they're probably hoping for, YouTube Red.
Yeah.
If you're gonna call it YouTube Red, just make it a porn already.
Well, they stopped.
I do pay for YouTube Premium.
I like how quiet Jeremy's being.
But that's
let it
more
stir.
because I want to be able to download videos because I listen to a lot of shit, and then I go through anywhere from 8 to 12 hours of YouTube shit every day.
Oh Jesus, dude! What the fuck?
Well, some people don't pay for cable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that we live in a world where you have access to all kinds of entertainment, regardless, as long as you have internet. And it's like that's going to be the future. One day there isn't going to be like television and cable. Everything's going to be streamed.
No, my thing is.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. So.
I do too. I mean, especially when I'm driving, man. Like if I'm going into town to grab something to eat, I put on fucking Sticks or Timcast or, watch the Razorfist video or, like whatever, JRE or, whatever I feel like listening to in the car because I can listen to it without watching it. Most podcasts you don't have to watch. That's kind of a downside with my content. It's better if you watch it as well because I'm a very kind of visual character,
What the hell was that?
Someone awoke in the beast.
Apparently.
Yeah. Jeremy, I slightly disagree because I listen for the points and then I do watch it later for all the visual gags.
I do have something to say about Magog's Discord. One of the voice chats, they were just talking about BDSM for a good 5 hours.
I have no control over that.
Is that weird?
For me.
Why were you
honey.
listening for 5 hours?
They kept bringing me back in.
He was edging himself.
Try to
Well,
get
after you
out,
get
but
the
I
whip
couldn't
and you
right.
tell him to stop.
You've never spent any time in the YouTube Saints Discord.
Not safe for work is the
Pineapple.
safest place there.
Do not look in the catacombs. It's disgusting.
I also recommend if you join the Discord to stay out of the brothel because now and again, like, don't get me wrong, there's people in the brothel that are like, here's a hot chick with her boobs out, and then there's some people like, here's a chick with a dick banging another dude. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's so tame.
Actually,
Yeah.
one of your admins banned a trap porn from the brothel.
I actually just got kicked out of a Discord today.
I'm
They
in the
say they can
brothel.
only go in the catacombs.
I'm not in a Discord. I'm not in enough Discords to get kicked out.
I was in the one for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Well, I have no more faith in that game.
What happened?
Oh.
Well, I'm in there chilling out, reading, everyone's talking about the lore and stuff. And then out of nowhere, one of the admins starts talking about consent. How even in the game, there should be consent. When vampires bite, there should be consent. In real life, there is that consent. I'm not kidding. In RP, you have to consent. And I'm reading this and I went, okay, I'm going to burn my fucking bridge because I know one of the PR people from Paradox. So I go, all right. 5 minutes later, kicked because I went, by the way, pronouns are stupid. Boom. And I not only got kicked, I apparently turned the entire Discord on each other because they were fighting about a woman being kicked out and that I didn't deserve, which I didn't deserve to get kicked out. I was actually having a conversation with someone in there about how I don't want like politics in the game. Like vampire politics is fine, but I don't want like, orange man bad type of thing. And
No contemporary.
the admin was reading everything, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring this home.
You're a fucking vampire. The whole point is to steal people's blood without their fucking
Well,
consent.
no, you have to get consent before you bite them. How
I-
dare
if
you?
I was in that Discord, I wouldn't even
By
type
virtue
pronouns
of
stupid.
NPCs
I-
exist, they can't consent.
I can't believe it didn't even take me that long. I was gonna go into this whole thing to fuck with them, and it just took that one thing to get me kicked. And then my friend who was in there was taking screen caps of them just fighting with each other and yelling at the admin because I'm a woman and I shouldn't have been kicked. And I didn't say. And people were like, even the SJWs, and they were like, she didn't say anything wrong. That was her own opinion. You didn't let her explain why she said that. And he's like, this is not a democracy.
Yeah,
Oh, this is gonna be good.
if I was in that Discord and saw you got kicked, I would have been like, "There's a whole lot of echo in this chamber." Yep.
Someone's got the peanuts.
And I was so looking forward to that game, but then I found out they've gone a little woke over there. So
Well,
I don't know.
I messaged someone I know that works on is working with the team. It looks like what's going on, at least from what I'm understanding, is it could very well be a marketing ploy to mess with people. Because if nobody knows, before the game was officially announced, for about a month or two, they were doing a thing called Tender, which you had to solve puzzles and stuff. We all knew what it was going to lead to, but they didn't. They actually accidentally announced the game early because of somebody at Paradox. But
don't get me wrong. I'll judge it when I can see like proper game footage and gameplay and stuff. You know, like that's when I'll officially make my judgment. If it's because nowadays you kind of have to accept at least a certain level of like a few things are going to pop up in a show you're watching, and you just have to ignore it.
yeah, if it's just like a couple of SJW things and like the background lore and stuff that you can kind of ignore, I'm fine with that. Because I already know, because a friend of mine plays the tabletop really heavy, and he was talking about how the latest edition has as one of the major NPCs a black Muslim gay vampire that fights for women's rights and of women and in the vampire world. And I went, hold a minute, what? And I started laughing, and he said, yeah, nobody actually pays attention.
Wait. I didn't know. And I really honestly didn't think I would see a world where vampires would become gayer than Twilight.
I mean,
but here we are.
I actually have this full blown conspiracy theory that marketing companies are actually utilizing outrage culture in order to promote whatever.
Well, yeah, because it goes back to that old saying, even there's no such thing as bad press. You know that old saying, and I disagree with that because there is still like look what happened to Solo. The Star Wars movie. I mean, that got boycotted, and it fucking completely bombed because of it. So it can have a negative effect if you go like too far. But if you create a little controversy, it might not be too bad. It's just.
Well, here's the thing that people are freaking out over the game. Yeah, the Discord's complete trash right now, but from what I understand, it was only one of the writers that said something that was slightly wokish. And the thing is that people don't understand. Werewolf went under. The other game that was supposed to be released side by side with this Werewolf basically went under. It's not known if it's ever going to come back. They cannot afford, because Paradox just bought them, they cannot afford for this game to fail. White Wolf is in enough trouble right now financially. They can't afford for Bloodlines 2 to fail. So they're going to be very careful with this. If there's enough backlash, because there's a reason it's not coming out for 9 months. They're going to be very careful with this thing. And I've not known Paradox to really do SJ or to allow SJW that heavy.
Yeah, okay, I guess my next video might be on the Article 13, but it also might be on because I'm trying to branch out with Magog's content and not do so much like SJW political stuff. I'd like to have Magog talk about a video game or a movie or something like that without it being taken.
I can hook you up with plenty of games, man.
Like 2019, the year that anti-SJW became a bad word.
Well, like Rinchi and I, we swore off doing any politics. Probably like
wholesale politics. 6 months ago. Wholesale politics. Like we'll still talk about firearms. That's something I'm really passionate about. Or with Jables, it's dwarf tossing.
we'll talk about like
tossing.
they're trying to
Dwarf tossing.
dwarf tossing in my state, but like we'll talk about specific laws that that apply to things that we care about. But other than that, we've pretty much sworn off politics for our show, and our viewership has actually gone up quite a bit, even though we have a really small channel. Our viewership has gone up quite a bit because we've stopped doing politics.
Right now, with the way YouTube is, it's and I think it's just, isn't everyone kind of getting sick of politics and how stupid it's getting?
We got sick of
Absolutely.
politics. That's why we did it.
Like, I try to avoid, like, the last time I talked about anything considered quote unquote political was during a stream the other day when I was doing Vampire. I shut up, it's not on purpose, but I mentioned the trans thing because I saw somebody on YouTube that I was legitly worried about that should get some help. And, you know, I've got some trans fans and I was talking to them about it and stuff, but I know YouTube's going to see it as political, but I wasn't being like, oh God, trans people are terrible. It's basically, let's talk about this and, you know, what can be considered trans, what could be considered someone just looking for attention that really should be getting some mental help. Unfortunately, you know how YouTube's going to take that.
Yeah, we didn't drop off politics just off the because I'm still okay with chatting about politics. That's fine with me. But like our show is supposed to be something that's fun, so that's more the reason why we stopped doing politics.
I'm not swearing off politics. I've just decided to do quicker videos that are just jokes, and I've decided to punch up instead of punch down. So instead of finding some SJW video that has 300 views, you know, and nobody's going to see unless I introduce it to them, I've decided to go after like CNN, MSNBC, politician.
There you go.
You know, and it's working for me because guess what?
And by the way, I'm loving the videos that YouTube actually lets me see in my subscription box.
Well, let's not forget there's a chat out here listening to us. I'd like to pay attention.
Hi, chat.
Hey, everybody. You
bastards.
Fast number 4 says, can we suspend disbelief that much? Yeah, I guess you can. Depends on how heavy the SJW crap is in the game.
If it's in the background stuff, like what it's seeming like it's going to be, like, and again, I can see this. Like,
yeah, at the beginning, I know this. Like at the beginning, when you create your character, there's going to be like a bunch of pronoun options.
Oh yeah, they were going real heavy on that.
And it's like I can deal with that because I don't have to choose it.
Yeah,
it can be there, but when I create my character, I won't. I just will leave that blank or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's like that kind of thing is fine. I've seen many games do that now. That's fine. Like I've heard they're gonna do, like they did this with Vampire. They did, like, because of what year it's in. They talk about like women aren't taken seriously and stuff like that. And it gets a little grating in that game after a while, but I get why it's in there. And it's not to go, you know, ma whammons. It's basically this is this time period and stuff. I can see it in the Vampire the Masquerade where like women aren't maybe as high up, even though that would be dumb considering vampires. But I can see them doing that where there's a woman trying to get more control and stuff. They could use that as a subplot and be just fine with it. It's if they try to do the ma power thing, people are going to be like, "Oh, I can't." It's also got to be the writing. If
it's got to fit the lore. I mean, nobody has ever I never minded that like look at Anne Rice. One of the most powerful vampires she ever wrote was Queen of the Damned, and that was a female. But it kind of makes sense. They're vampires. They seduce, and you know, and it makes sense that a woman would be a pretty successful fucking vampire. You know,
if we're gonna talk about this kind of thing on video games, let's mention the other side of the field that's starting to get annoying. You heard about what's going on with Mortal Kombat, right?
Don't care.
Wait, nope.
Basically, ever since Injustice 2, Warner Brothers is kind of, who the parent company for NetherRealm, has kind of said, okay, guys, you got to kind of bring it off on the sexuality thing, get them a little more dressed. Now, as somebody that works with artists a lot and is a writer, you can do sexuality really well and have a character fully dressed. Well, they just showed Katana, and she's got more of basically, I guess, what you would expect a queen to wear, something like that. People are having hissy fits. Oh, she's not dressed sexually. I'm like, okay, we're seeing just a few images of her. We're not seeing like a lot of her in the trailers. And the stuff I've seen, I'm like, she's exuding sexuality. What's the problem with that?
Well, shit.
She's not new.
That brings up the question about alt costumes too.
Yeah, that was my
alt
point.
costumes.
Yeah, but at the same time,
shown?
Puritan women could still exude sexuality because it's all about, like the emotion that you portray and stuff like that. But in video games, you know what? To me, there's nothing wrong with selling to your audience. Hence the reason I have a fucking topless Meadwent selling my art posters. I don't
my icon
care.
for my channel
I
is
am
a
not
nude
ashamed of
unicorn. I don't want to hear
sexuality.
that.
I'm not ashamed of sexuality. I'm not ashamed of nudity. If I want to play a fighting game that has a big tittied fucking chick in a bikini, that's what I want to play. Stop trying to shame me for it.
No, it's not that. It's not the shaming thing.
God damn it, Jeremy! How dare you objectify women that way?
That's not the problem I'm having, though. The problem I'm having is, they're like, these fans aren't waiting to see if they're going to be other costumes and stuff. They're not even like, I just talked to one of them in a DM, and he goes, "Well, yeah, she's kind of moving sexy and stuff, but she's still dressed." And I'm like, you do know Katana's always been dressed. What are you fucking?
Well, you're talking to fucking spurgs on the internet that are just trying to be outraged. I mean,
it's annoying on both sides.
Yeah, that happens on both sides.
Like Dead or Alive Extreme 3.
The best thing to do is ignore. The moment I started engaging with one of my stalker trolls is the moment she wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. Now she comments on every one of my videos. So,
I just had to ban one that does that stuff.
Also, when it comes to fighting games, it's actually very valid for women to wear less clothing because it's actually more functional for
freedom of movement.
No,
I know. I used to do do gymnastics and dance. Yeah, there's a reason you wear a leotard and stuff like that. Trust me.
That's gymnastics and dance. Trust me. If you're fighting, dude,
I also took martial arts. Trust me, they all go in hand in
hand. No, I disagree with that. I mean, I'm not saying you got to have body armor on that restricts your movements, but I am saying if a guy's coming at you with a sword, you might want something.
Oh yeah,
there's a difference between.
But that's what I'm saying. Her wearing some armor isn't a problem. It's that people are acting like, they're taking all the sexuality out. And I love how one person was like, it's got to have such a deep lore. She's had such a deep lore. It's Mortal fucking Kombat, dude.
Yeah, you're getting a little triggered. You're getting a little triggered over a spurg on the internet that has no name.
It's because I work. Okay, the field I work in video games is more mature games. So I see titties every day. I see titties for hours. I see dicks for hours. Guess what? If your game sucks, you can have all the titties you want. You're not going to have that many fans. If you can't write, if you can't put a lot into it, they're going to be wham bam thank you ma'am. I played adult games that will keep you busy and not even just jerking it, just enjoying the story for hours.
Tell that to Leisure Suit Larry.
I'm starting to feel like a disappointed old dad.
Leisure Suit Larry is a different story. I'll tell you one thing. When I played Mortal Kombat, I didn't play Katana for the sex appeal. I played it because it was a fun character to play, and I wanted to master every character.
Here, I'll give you something too. Like, here's the thing: these fucking SJW types are trying to change the way games are designed and everything, and they don't realize that as long as you have female characters, they're going to be sexualized by men. And I'll give you an example. When I played Skyrim, I like to mod the fuck out of Skyrim. But I wasn't one of these guys that downloaded mods of like the bikini armors and stuff because I like playing games that are like, if I download mods, I like to play mods that are lore friendly. I find it incredibly sexy that my female character's got a fucking like suit of armor on that isn't like a bikini and shit. I actually am like, what's not sexy about a woman in like a pirate outfit or something like that? Like, there's always going to be sexualization to a certain extent, isn't there? Like, tell me you're not attracted. Tell me you're not attracted to Sorsha from Willow. Like, holy fuck, that.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I mean, like
that's actually totally fair. That's a really good point.
One of our characters who is almost always dressed, but she is one of the most requested characters and the voted sexual character because of the attitude she gives, because of the look, because she could be just like, we have her in a nightdress, like an actual like gown you'd wear as a singer. People say that's one of the sexiest images we've done.
Yep. Back to the chat. I've got a few things to catch up on because I'm trying to talk to the chat a little
Hi,
bit.
chat.
Let's see. Tiberius Kirk says, anyone tell Magog about Waz Lee calling him out? I don't know who that is.
Oh, fucking Waz. No one cares.
Wazley just released a new video today. I haven't listened to it yet. But
Yeah, I don't.
No one cares.
Yeah, he probably calls you out.
I don't care. I don't really care. Fucking Ralph called me out too from Killstream. I didn't care. I mean,
Yeah.
I bitched about it a little bit because it was some shady shit that he did as well as calling me out. But I've said my piece on that. I don't get into the internet drama. Fuck
It's
them.
not worth it.
I would only be concerned if what he's saying about you is absolutely wrong. But
yeah, I mean, if somebody links me what he did, like if he slandered me in some way, that it's just absolutely
I don't think he will do that. Wazley is actually a pretty honest guy, and he's going on this whole crusade at the moment and like calling out everybody, but he's been pretty blatant and honest about everything.
He seemed like he was honest. Then again, he also deleted a shit ton of his videos.
Yeah, I don't even know who he is, but unless he was in the video saying that like I'm a child molester or something, which is like to me absolute like slander and libel, that kind of shit needs to be addressed. But if he's in there disagreeing with me, I don't give a fuck because I'm an entertainer. If he can't understand, if he can't understand that he's arguing with a guy dressed like a wizard,
yeah,
then he needs to reassess his life. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Knowing Wazley,
like that fucking Danny Quartz guy,
to criticize you for hiding behind the persona of a wizard. But other than that, I don't think it's really gonna have anything negative to say about you.
I don't know what Tiberius Kirk meant by calling me out, but I don't do internet drama, so
It's not worth it ever.
yeah, I don't do blood sports. Really sorry. Dragon in the West dropped a sign in the chat that says a woman in an actual police outfit is really hot. Yeah.
You'd probably like some of the upcoming art we're doing for the comic.
By the way, hey, Dragon in the West, get that microphone out of your fucking throat next time you talk.
You sure it was a mic?
Yeah.
He's constantly like deep throating his mic every time.
Oh, honey, get a headset.
How's a headset? He's still deep throating that mic like it's nobody's fucking business. Like he's getting paid.
I lost track of what we were talking about 3 hours ago, and we haven't even.
The conversation moved on from then. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I had much more fun last night in the Discord for like 2 hours straight. I just talked about the lore of my world. It was fun.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
My fans were in there like taking notes, like, well, we're gonna tell people about it so you don't have to. Cool. I have assistants now. No, I have lore. Wait. I've designated a new title. I have lore secretaries.
Well, that would be me and Gray.
I misnamed that one. My bad.
Assassin of the Gray. Yeah.
Yep.
Hi, baby. Is it time for you to go out?
Lord Magog has slaves.
Oh, I'll be right back, guys. I've got to walk a puppy.
That's better. Lore slave. I like that better.
Never mind. I don't want to be that. You know, I'm currently working on the lore of the Fendel Islands to give you something to chew on in case you like it or not.
Well, yeah, just that's what it's all about. Like after the shows, most of the time, I mean, sometimes I'm so tired I don't hop in, but most of the time after SideQuest on Mondays and Fridays, I hop in the Discord. Everybody's chatting in the chambers, and I'll go in there and council chambers, and I'll just visit with the fans and talk with you guys and stuff, you know. And I like to do that because I feel like that's, you know, that like it helps people stay connected with the show and the creators of the show and the behind the scenes, and we get to talk about all kinds of stuff, and that's really fun to me, you know. I'm finally starting to get adjusted to this new like filming schedule. Like this morning I got up at like 9:30, got the Jussie Smollett video done, written, recorded, edited, and everything. And I still had a whole afternoon to go look at some properties, grab some dinner, come home. Now I'm sitting here, I'm like, my work's done. I already visited the properties. I ate dinner. I am bored. So let's start up a live stream, see if anybody wants to talk. You know, it's so nice, and you know, I feel so accomplished when I finally get used to this schedule. You know.
You're missing one key component to this, and that key component is beer.
Yeah, but beer slows me down, and I'm on a diet, so
It's all about the scotch.
Oh.
yeah, alcohol and soda and pretty much sweet, like junk food and like fast food and stuff. I've cut out because I'm trying to lose a little weight.
No,
That's fair.
but I do have to say interaction with fans is very important. And that's me speaking as a fan of a lot of different shows. Interaction with the fans is really important. It keeps people involved. It keeps people wanting to keep watching more because maybe they'll say hi to me.
I'm glad you went with being a fan because we both know you don't have any.
That's not true. I'm sure
I
he
actually have quite a few fans now, Rimshy.
That's not entirely
Okay,
true.
you have one, Angel.
That's not entirely true. I'm sure he's
Angel
got.
doesn't count as a fan, dude.
That's not entirely true. I'm sure he's got at least one or two ceiling fans where he lives.
Right now, it's oscillating even.
It's oscillating all over your back.
Yeah. Get that nice hot oscillation down here. So
I'm not gonna take myself out of this hole. All right.
no. Oh man. Got high fructose corn syrup, Caliban. Cool name, by the way. You should join the lore of Morskar. I'm also giving a chance for the fans to create their own characters, and then once they have like a design of their character and maybe a possible name, then they can get with me and work on their possible background in my world. And then once they get me pictures of them in their costumes and with their weapons and stuff like that, I'll be adding them to the lore loading screens at the beginning of SideQuest.
Yeah, I've been working on that.
So, yeah, that's where I actually have quite a few questions about too.
And, that gives the fans also a chance to join the world of Magog. Because to me, 2019 is all about expanding all the operations. Get me a bigger studio, bigger indoor sets, fucking working with people, getting the lore extended, getting more Maidens of Morskar signed up for the sexy ladies of the medieval realms, getting guys and gals both to create characters and stuff. It's going to be fun. 2019 is going to be fun. It's going to be all about building the world of Magog, making it more of a reality that just pops off your screen. More special effects, bigger sets, more people joining the stories and stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat right now, and I have to agree with James E. Anubis. Well, you got to pick on Atchibles Boogly. Guy's life is hard enough. He hasn't even got a nose.
I know him. I've met him in person. He deserves it.
I don't even know what that means.
You
do look like you have a vagina on your face.
A what?
On his avatar, he looks like he has a vagina on his face.
He looks like a lesbian with a beard.
Yeah,
It's like a lesbian with a beard.
It's like an anime Shaggy.
Well, Grinner in the chat says, Magog, what if we just want to get with Magog? Cues porn music.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have an ex-girlfriend that drew this image for me. It's a skinny version of what I actually look like. Rimshy can verify. He's met me in person.
Yeah.
All I can say to that question from Grinner is get in line.
Behind Beersy.
I wish you could save. I wish you really I wish the live chat would allow you to put up gifs and fucking memes, because I would have just answered Grinner with a gif of Beetlejuice sitting there with a really long waiting number. Like.
Just wait. It'll be a thing.
Well, if we're gonna talk about older movies, has anyone ever seen Grumpy Old Men?
What the fuck?
I've seen bits and pieces, never watched it all the way through.
I've seen both of them, but what does that have to do with what we're
I'm
talking
bored
about?
and I don't know what the hell we're doing.
Okay. Well, you don't have to stay, bro. Like, I'm sorry that we're boring you.
No, I'm not bored that way. I'm just, I don't know, attention deficit.
Yeah, just to keep carving things into your desktop.
I've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Try carving things into your arm. Maybe that'll keep you from being bored.
Sorry, I'm not Jables.
Yep. What is that?
I'm okay. I'm
He's
It's
extremely
interesting. I'm a massive fan of comedy. So the more you make fun of me, actually, the harder I laughed.
Shut up, you prick.
Should have. What about all your Fagaga nights, Magog? What about them?
Yeah, whatever. But we could talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I started this at, when did I start? 8:30. Yeah, so it's been an hour, almost an hour and a half. So probably be ending it in about half an hour. So if you guys want to talk about anything specific, go ahead and
Can you tell us a bit about Sarthos? Sarthos. I think that's one of the realms that you haven't, or one of the areas in the realms you haven't quite touched on a bit.
That's because I am putting it off because it's exhausting. Sarthos is one of the biggest kingdoms with the deepest lore that I've written, and I've been putting it off because it's going to be, there's so much more written about Sarthos than most of the other kingdoms, simply because a lot of history happened in Sarthos. It's the first kingdom of men. It was named after the first king of men after Sarth. The hero Sarth defeated the immortal Emperor Nelaros and brought an end to the Elven Dominion. There's just so much behind that, so I can't tell you too much simply because I don't want to get it wrong. I'm going to have to really write it out, so just be patient with that. I can't get it all done overnight,
I was only asking because I was thinking of making my OC from that region. So,
well, it's an incredibly wealthy region, one of the biggest trade hubs in the world, and it's got some of the largest cities too, and it's a bit more of a fertile landscape. A lot of and that's why they're wealthy. They don't have a lot of desolate regions. The South Shylands, for example, is nothing but farms as far as the eye can see. It's like I very much see Sarthos as England or France, something like that, where it does get cold there because it's a middle kingdom, but it is
it's basically the farm belt of
yeah, pretty much, and powerhouse military too. Massive powerhouse military because of it, and some of the best wine comes from there because they have like great vineyards in the South Shylands. In fact, Shyland wine is considered the best in the world.
So kind of a cross between Britain during the British Empire and France.
Yeah, very much, or maybe even Italy. Certain parts of Italy, because I've always seen the brine as being very, very much like Venice, built on the water, shipping trade hubs, the home of the merchant kings, that kind of thing. But yeah, think of the rolling hills of Tuscany and stuff like that. That's definitely Sarthos.
So I get a bit about your the Magog. So with the art we've seen of your world, it looks like there's one continent. How many other continents are on this world?
Undiscovered.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, nobody knows what's west of the doldrums, and nobody knows what's east of the volcanic ashlands. So
one known continent.
Yeah, one known continent at this point in the history of Voth. But who knows? I might be able to expand it in the future to include further off places with all new cultures and races of beings and stuff like that.
The bald eagle people.
So what you're saying is a retard in a marine like Rimshi and I should bumblefuck our way through discovering what's beyond those areas.
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
It's not a real place, dude.
It doesn't exist.
You
do know that, right?
Okay, apparently not.
Yeah. Anubis he says, nice, I like it. Leaving the rest of the map empty leaves options for imagination. Yeah. exactly. I didn't.
That's where fan fiction comes in.
Yeah, you got to think of like early medieval times before we crossed the oceans and found the new world. That people thought the world ended at the sea right there in Europe. I mean, yeah. If you think about it like that, then that's very much kind of the part of history that Magog and everybody else is living in.
Or Christopher Columbus, who thought, "Hey, I'll go west of England, and I'll end up in India."
Yep. And he found a whole new fucking. The world was bigger than he thought it was. He found a whole new fucking world.
Well, Christopher Columbus was a different story because he was also. They thought he was just gonna go off and die in the middle of the ocean, so they were like,
yeah, they thought he'd just find nothing and die. And we get the name of our country comes from Christopher Columbus's map maker and I guess navigational expert.
Yeah. Amerigo Vespucci.
Yep, Amerigo Vespucci. So, but then again, technically, he landed in what, the Caribbean or something? Like he didn't actually land in North America. Like And then of course they found that Viking ship up in like Maine, and it's like, oh, the Vikings were here, and they didn't even know it.
There's a bit about that. The old Vikings traveled the far north for that, and they actually followed the old Celtic routes that the Celts used for their with their skin boats to island hop essentially over to what would be now Canada.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I mean, technically, if you want to go back far enough, the people who discovered this landmass, America, what would eventually become America, is actually the Native Americans who crossed the land bridge during the Ice Age and fucking got cut off from the rest of the world when it all melted. Because if you do a DNA test on Native Americans, they've got quite a bit of like Asian blood. They share genetic markers with Asian people, so it's very most scientists believe that it's very possible that they just wandered over here and then the ice melted and they were trapped here. That's it.
Fucking global warming.
Well, that's what happens at the end of an ice age. Yeah, like that's the other big argument with modern global warming. The one thing that I've never heard anybody on the right or left talk about is whether or not global warming is actually good or not. Like, how do we know it's bad?
Well, actually, as the world heats up, the farmable areas of the northern parts, like Russia and Canada, that are mostly under ice the majority of the year, are going to thaw out, and it's going to be farmable.
Yeah, but the issue or the concern is that
has a good landmass.
Technically, it's not global warming, it's climate change. Climates are changing all around the world, and it's actually creating a lot of natural disasters. However, whether or not that's a good or bad thing is.
I don't like fucking people, so
that's a matter of perspective.
Here's the thing I'm arguing. Okay, like, how do we know it's long-term climate change? Because on a global scale. On a global scale over like hundreds of years, that's climate. The shit that changes like every couple of years, that's weather. How do we know we're just not in a lull and it's going to bounce back? How do we know? We don't fucking know. The earth knows how to fix itself. It may kill us in the process, but it knows how to fix itself.
That may be its that may be its goal right now.
So here,
to be fair, we've only been recording weather and climate for a few years now.
Yeah, they're trying to tell me. These scientists are trying to tell me that the numbers they have from people recording, temperatures from as early as like 1903, that the Earth has changed dramatically since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, which I do believe we've left quite the carbon footprint, but at the same time. I'm supposed to believe the guy in 1903, like he's still shitting outdoors and going down to the docks for a good leaching. I'm supposed to believe he had a grasp on the temperature of the Earth's fucking magma.
Okay, the issue with a statement like that is, come 100 years from now, they're going to be like, they were walking around with fucking phones in their hands, running into poles. Am I supposed to believe them?
Yeah, but I'm not going to be worried about that. I'm going to be dead.
We're all going to be fucking dead.
But you got to understand, too, there's a difference between that. See, people 100 years from now will look back on us, and they will think that we're not as technologically advanced as them. But they will be able to recognize, if we survive that long, they will be able to recognize that we had much better technology than what we look back on in the 1900s. Because you have to understand, up until the 1900s, the Industrial Revolution, human beings have lived like shit for thousands of years.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
we are only living such a good life from the product of the past 100 years. That's it. 100 years out of the 5,000 years of recorded history and the 250,000 years we've been Homo sapien. 100 years. In 100 years, we've had this kind of technological advancement.
Yes.
I'm back.
And wait. And Jeremy, this is why you're able to have a YouTube channel and bitch about other people bitching about shit.
You damn Skippy. But here's the other thing too. I also realize too that our population does not allow for a proportional amount of people that help bring the world to a new energy and technological age. For instance, for every Einstein, for every Elon Musk, there's like 100 million mouth breathers who don't do shit. So for every one Alan Turing, for everyone like really intelligent fucking, Oppenheimer, people who changed the world, there's 100 million of us that are on the internet bitching.
I was gonna say that's not a nice thing to call your audience.
Yeah,
I'm calling myself that too. I'm no fucking genius.
I'm gonna dip out for a minute because Rimshi here actually knows all my arguments for this because we've had a lot of discussions about this shit. I'm just gonna let Rimshi speak for me.
So you're the bottom of the relationship.
Yeah.
Oh no. He is. He thinks he has control over me.
Give him credit. He's a power bottom.
There's nothing to be ashamed of with that.
I am the power bottom. He fucks me every fucking day.
And Elon Musk is the ultimate power top.
He knows what my arguments are because we talk all the time. So I'm saying he can speak for me.
The reason people doubt the climate change thing, I know that I don't not. Okay, let me word myself correctly here. I don't disbelieve all of it. I mean, I'm a reasonable guy. I like nature. I like that we recycle so there's not garbage everywhere. I like that we've been able to turn our landfills into like methane energy plants, basically, so that we're not just burying a bunch of garbage and letting it go to waste. I like that we found a proper way to dispose of nuclear materials in Yucca Mountain. I like the things that make this world beautiful. I'm an air breather. I really am. But I don't believe all of it because last time when I think I was in junior high when the teachers forced me to watch Al Gore's fucking movie. And he said by 2015, we'd all be underwater.
Yeah. The biggest issue with a lot of the quote unquote evidence is people who aren't scientists who over exaggerate the danger, trying to get us to react quicker, and as a result of that, trying to get us to act quicker, they just fuck their own arguments. I mean, it's like with a lot of the stuff going on now. Oh, in 10, if we don't get rid of our carbon footprint within 10 years, we're all gonna be dead within 50.
Yep.
It's just another doomsday prophecy.
To add a bit of perspective, the Jetsons was based in 2005.
You also have to understand too that when I was young, I mean like a little kid, like in the 80s, I remember the sun being hot. It was hot. I remember that. It was hot. Do you think people back in the Dust Bowl were stepping outside going, "Oh, global warming, we're all going to die," or were they just stepping outside going, "Fuck, it ain't rained in a while"?
People seem to forget that
these things come and go. These natural fucking events, they come and go. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sid.
I was going to say the rotation of the Earth is why we go into the warming and the cooling periods. Now, granted, we aren't doing any help with some of the stuff we're doing, but we're trying to rectify what we can. It's just that, let's face it, Al Gore made a lot of money off that scare tactic. In fact, all of that shit was connected with him.
Boy, he did.
There's a lot of industries that make money off of that, which is why I sit between it being a hoax and being real. Because, like, for example, I drive a truck for a living. There's some of this plastic shit that goes on in between the wheels that they try to say is environmentally friendly because it saves you like 0.2 miles per gallon or some shit like that. It costs $2,000 to put that on the truck, and it doesn't do shit.
But that's truck driving. I mean, I'd much rather drive a modern day car than some older ones, even though I'm a classics guy. I love classics. If I can ever afford to have like a classic muscle car just to drive on Sundays and feel like a man driving a muscle car from the 60s, I will do that. But at the same time, I love my 2018 Ford Fusion. That thing is fucking clean. It runs great. I get like 32 miles to the gallon in the city. Like, I'm not mad at that. I'm really not. I'm not angry with that at all.
Speaking about cars and all that, so they love to level stuff on every car person out there. Just all these taxes and extra bullshit, all the regulations that are going on it. However, they just 2, maybe 3 years ago started regulating the big ass shipping ships that are throwing a lot more shit out in the atmosphere and all that than cars do.
And that's also why I call the left losers in my my Mueller video. I've chosen to finally just take a side. I'm tired of playing the centrist and giving the left a chance. I've given them enough. Okay? They are arguing for us to go back to a world where we're all like one with nature and that we don't have electricity and shit like that. That's basically what they want, in my opinion. They may not say it out loud, but that's what they fucking want. Okay? Well, too fucking bad. We are full steam ahead into the modern technological age. You're not stopping this fucking machine. Man. You're not stopping it, man. We're not all gonna go vegan. We're not all gonna go fucking vegan.
Some of us can't for health reasons.
Yep, we're not fucking doing it. We're not fucking all gonna switch to gluten free. It's not. You live in a dream world. Give it up. You're losers.
People will constantly say, I see you post on shit all the time. Hey, people telling you what to do with your content. Oh, go. There are loonies on the right. Yeah, but they don't have the power right now.
Not the social power. Now,
no.
Technically in the government, we do have an executive branch that's run by Republicans. We have, but at the end of the day, though, we still have a Congress that's, a House of Representatives that's Democrat. That's balanced, in my opinion. It should be that way. We should have a Congress that questions everything the president does. That keeps the checks and balancing system. Maybe not every single thing. It's good to have a bipartisan system, but that when they start working and crossing the aisle, but that's my problem with the left. They don't want to cross the aisle. They don't want to shake hands with the other side. They've completely lost all integrity, and they're just a bunch of screaming fucking harpies at this point.
Yeah. I'm not even talking about Republicans in general. The loonies I'm talking about are the even further right, because the Republicans that are in office mostly want to maintain the hegemony, or at worst go back a little bit to where abortion was illegal and other such things. But it's not quite what we see on the left that has the power at the moment.
No, they have the power in the corporate world, too, because a lot of the corporations, especially tech companies, are swinging hardcore progressive. And that's getting incredibly dangerous and unbalanced. But the reason with the environmental stuff, the reason the Green New Deal sucks, besides the obvious reasons of like getting rid of airplanes and shit like that, all that crazy shit. Besides that, the other reason it's not going to fucking, it doesn't affect people. They're like, well, it's not going to have the effect they want it to have, even if we can implement it, even if we can come up with $93 trillion to do it, right? Even if we did it, the world would still be where it's at, because guess what? America, with all the changes we've made since the 70s and the green movement started and the environmental movement started, America isn't even the biggest fucking country producing the worst shit. Go look at fucking China and India's carbon footprint on this. The world has to change, not just America. And I hate it when they come out and go, well, if we do it first, the rest of the world will. No, won't.
Shit.
Because
we
there ain't
have
another
to.
fucking country in this world that's adopted anything.
That goes back to like the big old trash island that's in the Pacific Ocean, where a lot of that trash is coming from is actually Southeastern Asia.
Yeah. I'm sorry, like we're not. I mean, we do have an effect on the world in certain things. Like people are getting more, like Americanized simply because of the growth of technology. Every country's getting internet. Every country's getting, access to world knowledge and things like that, and that's a good thing. It's connecting people. But on the other side, it's not like China's just given up all their history and going, let's be democracy like America. No, we're not that big of fucking influence, or else more countries would be like us, and it's not.
Well, we like it's like the whole like straw ban that's going across the entire West Coast right now.
Oh my god!
Which, by the way,
we can ban straws all that we want, but the fact of the matter is, like all the plastic and all the garbage that's contributing to the big ass garbage island in the Pacific Ocean isn't coming from the U.S. That's coming from
Now Japan is trying to lead things in the Asiatic countries because they can. I even saw a video on that. They created some sort of bag you can carry your groceries home in. It looks like a plastic bag, but then the person got home, pulled all their groceries out of the bags, and then grabbed the bag, put it in a glass of water, and it melted.
That's amazing.
and
It was made out of some biodegradable like seaweed or something. And it was like, that's cool. That to me, that's cool.
I do promote us creating more biodegradable plastics and everything like that. I do promote us doing that, but the fact of the matter is that we aren't necessarily the problem.
Funny thing on the straw front, though, I was at a restaurant not that long ago, and when they brought out the drinks, they actually had straw for straws, not plastic. It was the plant. They literally took a stalk, slid off the sheath, and gave that as the straw.
Yeah, I saw that. There's some of the more, I guess. I mean, they're going to have to charge higher prices. But I saw a video on Twitter of this restaurant. I don't remember what it is in California that's using bamboo straws. They're like little thin, because bamboo is hollow but strong, and you could get a bamboo straw, and then you could also take it with you, or you could throw it outside. I mean, it's wood. It's wood. It's gonna, biodegradable eventually. Now, bamboo lasts a really long time, but
any plant outside of its natural environment will last pretty long.
Don't just throw bamboo straws anywhere you want, because that will grow into another bamboo plant.
No, because
the great bamboo infestation of California.
One does not know how bamboo grows. One, there's no seeds on a straw. Two, it's a dead straw. It's not going to grow into anything.
Also, another thing on the plastic things that's great in the water that
bamboo grows from a single shoot. If you just put it in the ground, will actually
grow.
If
it's freshly cut. If it's freshly cut, if it's dried out, it ain't fucking doing anything. It ain't gonna grow if it's dried out.
But is it fully dried out?
Yeah, it's fully dried out when you get it.
Yeah, it's a dried piece of fucking wood. It ain't growing anywhere. It ain't go.
Okay, that's fair enough.
My bamboo.
They're not cutting it fresh.
Walked away.
So I live in Washington State, apple country. So one way that apples are grown is that every seed from an apple actually has a bunch of different traits and everything like that. So what they actually do is they actually clone apple trees constantly. They've been doing it for the last like 200 fucking years.
Well, that's just agriculture in general. Do you know how big corn was 100 years ago? Now look at it. We have specifically genetically bred corn to grow huge.
Also,
corn can't exist modern day without human intervention.
We also bred wheat to grow shorter because back in the day it used to grow over your head.
Yeah, and what was that song? What was that one guy's name? He won a Nobel Peace Prize for developing a strain of wheat that could grow in like really harsh conditions, and it was supposed to change the world. But then all the environmentalists were like, "No, it's a genetically altered plant, and so they outlawed it, and so it would have saved like 1 billion people from starvation. Because like Ethiopia has been in like a 90-year drought. They could have grown that shit, but because the environmentalists on the left are like, it's not natural, 1 billion people starved to death because of that, because they wouldn't fucking let that guy sell those genetically altered seeds. And it's like, I saw the stupidest shit. Like, the environmental left was trying to sell this propaganda that like he mixed animal DNA with the plant. You know that's impossible.
The same people that believe shots give you autism.
It's so stupid.
Potentially. The reality is the only difference between the GMO that people think of in modern day and the genetically modified organisms like corn is that corn was selectively bred, whereas the modern day GMO is done in a lab, so it can be done a lot quicker. You can actually see the result a lot quicker, and you can test it.
I wonder what these people would do if they had to eat an original banana.
It's not even that. I mean, ask any environmentalist how they feel about grapefruit.
That's if they know about grapefruit. But what I'm getting at is they think too, because they're a bunch of dumbass fucking ignorant hippies, that this guy was in a lab like a mad scientist mixing like spider DNA with the plant. Like, they're not even fucking... That's not possible.
Yeah, he's
like,
not a marketer.
Yeah, fucking plants don't have the same cellular structure as an animal or an insect. Like, it's, oh my god.
I don't know what you're talking about, my god. Yeah, totally.
If you ever want to build,
I would actually prefer that if the food that I ate gave me superpowers. That would be super fucking cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
All it does is give you cancer.
All you do to shoot down these idiots is ask them. No, I'm serious about this. Ask them how much they like bananas, and I like bananas. There you go. Those are genetically modified bananas. It's not how a banana is supposed to taste. In fact, we drove original bananas into extinction.
Yeah, but
yes, I actually the artificial banana flavoring that you get.
We didn't drive it into extinction.
Well, we didn't help with it.
The original banana flavor.
No, we didn't. We didn't drive. We didn't drive it into extinction.
I didn't say it. Well,
we evolved it. We evolved it. That's a difference. Like it changed, but it wasn't gone.
No, the original banana plants that artificial banana flavoring is actually derived from. Those original banana plants actually died out through disease and overconsumption. So now we have different bananas.
Aren't plantains like the closest thing we still have that are related to the originals?
Yeah.
Kind of.
I can't answer that.
All right, everybody needs to shut up because I have super chat.
Yeah, I've been trying to say for 10 minutes.
Yeah, non-Vitae Rex says, "Sweet, you're still streaming. Have some money, Magog. Thank you." And Rimshi says, "YouTube gave me a free $2 super chat." What does that even mean?
I have YouTube Premium, and I popped on my tablet, and it said, "Hey, we're giving you a free super chat to give to whoever you want."
Oh, that's cool.
Why do guys always do that? That's okay. So I have a question for all of you guys, and I want an honest answer.
Okay.
I have a penis.
All right, let's say you have an adult web porn site account. Would you take a picture of your dick and put that as your icon? And why do you think people want to look at your dick?
No,
No, I wouldn't do that.
I don't get why so many guys do
My
that.
girlfriend would probably kill me.
I have one question to answer that. Am I trying to fuck with them?
No, okay. We're not trying to fuck with them or troll them at all. These are people that actually just put their dicks on there, like they think it's the most amazing thing in the world.
It's not that. It's you're separating men from
middle school.
Like trolls and spurgs on the internet. Like you don't even know if that's their penis. Like
yeah,
I had a few of them send me a picture of their penis. Also, why do you guys do that?
There's a lot we don't. Stop asking.
No,
we're not some homogenous group, okay? Stop being sexist.
No, I'm allowed to be
bigoted whore.
I'm not over here calling all women fucking man-hating feminists. Only the man-hating feminists.
I wait, hold on. I actually am somebody that sends my penis to people sometimes.
Why?
Exactly.
How am I not surprised by that?
Get the fuck off my stream.
Hey, every time it's been asked. Okay, thanks very much.
I mean, if you're sending it to somebody who asked for it, I'm fine with that. That's consent. It's considered, and I can see it. It's kind of sexy. I like it when girls are like, "Here's my boobies," and I'm like, "Sweet, that's awesome." You know. And if a girl's all like, "I want to see your dick," I can see the appeal to that. But if you're randomly sending dick pics to girls who have not asked for it, you are a douchebag.
Hey, Rando, here's the dick. How you like it?
No. I've also randomly sent my dick to people, but
why?
Bro.
Hold on. Let me explain it, and Rimshi can verify.
Yeah, he sent me one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've also sent a girlfriend dick pics. Sometimes I send dick pics because it's gonna be a funny joke because like I've had a good rapport with somebody.
Yeah, I'm a comedian. That's not a funny
joke. The funny joke is just looking at your dick. So
hey,
I want you to rethink that statement.
Finally, the intervention I've been hoping for.
Guys, I think we found the Spurg in the group.
With the right context and the right rapport.
Jable just walks in with a trench coat. Hey, you guys want to hear a funny joke?
Yeah, like I want you to really think about what you just said.
Somebody flipped this entire part.
Do you want to see my joke of a penis? It's like really small. It's like a thimble wearing a clown's wig.
Yeah,
so he sent you a picture of it too.
Yeah. Rimshi, send Magog the pics that I sent you.
I am. I don't have to see it now. I'm going to turn your joke into an actual joke.
So what I'm hearing, I just came back.
No, I'm sorry. No, Jables Boogley's new nickname is Micronaut.
Yes.
Who remembers Micronauts?
They're coming back.
That's hurtful at the same time. So I don't know whether or not to hate it.
Well, there's a reason he's a bottom.
Well, yeah, because nobody wants to see his dick.
Jesus Christ.
There
is absolutely no reason to send unwarranted dick pics. Even as a joke.
I never said any of the I never said any of the pics were unwarranted.
Hey Magog, I got a new super chat.
Yeah, apparently dick pics to you is like, hi, how you doing? I want to be your friend. Here's a dick.
All right. So the way we can find that out is, hey Rimshi, did you ask to see his dick?
No.
No.
Then you have sent an unwarranted dick pic.
Rimshi was raped.
I'm sorry. Like, I know there's a lot of guys out there that are proud of their dicks, and that's why they take pictures and send them because they think a dick turns a girl on. But I can tell you right now, there's nothing really that attractive about a penis unless the woman is attracted to what that penis is attached to.
Basically.
It's an ugly lump of flesh under just about any circumstance.
Any girl in all seriousness, unless you're just like a shallow fucking thought or something, or a man hating feminist, most girls they don't care what your penis looks like once they fall in love with you because they love you.
Yeah, Sorry, Rimshi, can you at least give the context for when I sent you dick pics?
No, we don't need it.
I've blocked that out of my mind.
We do need it, honey.
Oh, you're just a pervert.
And don't tell the story for a moment. I have to go get my puppy.
This is not the Micronaut hour. This is Magog's behind Magog.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis.
Adian Bronx Gauntlet says, "Hey, I got a super chat. Shut up." Adian Bronze Gauntlet says, "Sips iced tea. What has the stream become?"
I've returned. Oh, you opened the damn gate. Smart dog. Okay, now tell the story of why you sent somebody your penis, other than you thought that meant he wanted to be your bestest friend in the entire world.
You got 7 minutes till it's 2 hours.
There is one thing I can think of for sending a dick pic in a non-sexual way, and that's to ask a very good trusted friend if they think you have some sort of sore on your dick and should go to the doctor. Like I do know guys who've done that because they're like, "Hey man, does this look like a wart to you?" Like like they ask their buddy for advice before they go to the doctor. They're like, "Hey man, do you think I have herpes? Like, what is that thing?" Like I could kind of like if you truly trust a friend that might want to like see it and go, "Yeah, you need to go to the doctor." Then I can But that's
I would just said if you have to ask that question, you should go.
That's not.
Yeah, I was gonna make that same comment.
But it's pretty fucking close.
Yeah. Make the some. I like this. Hold on. Somebody in the chat said. Somebody in the chat said. Hold on. Let me find it. This is funny. Oh, come on. Where's it at? Fuck. Oh, there it is. Jerry Hilton says Micronaut behind Magog hour question mark.
I don't.
Hold
think
on. I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, we don't have beer on this.
Let that joke sink in. It might be too cerebral for some people.
That close.
Let that joke sink in. It might be too cerebral for some people.
The only reason I ask this question is because whenever I get friended on like Pornhub or Xvids, and I know it always happens when they have a dick in their pic, they always send a message, "Hey, do you like my dick?" They get so mad when I go, "Oh, I didn't see it. It was so tiny."
No, you should answer with shit that will fuck with their head.
I've done other things, but that one's usually good because then they'll rage for about 20 minutes.
No, because they're just playing. That might not even be their dick, so you got to fuck with them in other ways in case that isn't their dick. When somebody does that, you should come back and be like, "Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord Jesus Christ?"
Oh my God, I'm feeling that. I remember, you know what's the funniest thing to get messaged on those websites for? And I get this a lot, which freaks me out. There will be guys that will send me a message and they'll be like, "Hey, sexy." And I'm like, "Okay, here we go. Can you recommend any good games?" I'm like, "What kind? Like action or horror?" And I'll be like, "What the fuck?"
I personally like it when really sexy porn star like chicks message me and say Toy Story 2 was okay.
Don't be mad the next time I get a message. Great. Now
That's
your
a little
entire
throwback
fan
joke.
base is
That's a
gonna
little
come to my
inside joke. Little inside joke from anybody who's watched my streams before. But
I've had actual porn stars who've messaged me about wanting to game, like do regular games with me, and I always find that funny. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care. Come and play with me." You don't mind that I'm a porn star? Do you see what website I'm uploading on?
Yeah, like I have a question. Are you uploading your basically
My
uncensored versions? Okay, so you're not
No, just the uncensored version.
You're playing porn games.
Yeah, and any of the audio files that fans have let me upload that had to be maybe their names removed, because I've got a few really funny ones I put onto YouTube.
Since that's what you do on like X videos or whatever. How do you make money?
No.
Do you make money? How do you do they have ads or something? Like how?
Yeah, I actually just got accepted into the model program on Pornhub, and the 3 techs I had to work with for about a year to finally get accepted, they have such a laugh over my stuff, because at first one of them's like, "This isn't really adult," and I showed them later episodes and they go, I have been corrected. You also have a really hot voice, and that's coming from someone that works on this site. And I'm like, I don't know how to handle this. Thank you. Did you want me to say something for you on recording?
Wait a second. It took you 3 years to get verified on Pornhub?
Because they don't, according to them, adult gameplay is not considered porn. The thing was, the reason I got in was because they partnered with Nutaku, and they said that again to me recently. And I sent it to Nutaku, who came back and said, "Do you want the partnership ended?"
Now, am I to understand as well? Am I to understand that your little unicorn creature avatar is uncensored as well?
Yeah.
On these videos, because I think you did tell me the last time we streamed, you said you had not safe for work versions of your avatar, and I'm like, why would you have that? Now I understand why you have it.
Yeah. Well, no, I just have to say, like, for me to get verified on Pornhub, all I had to do was write my username on my dick.
Well, there's verified and being able to make money to get in the modeling program and stuff. You have to prove, yeah,
to get monetized.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
It was basically they had to work with me and understand what I do, and because they've had people that have done this before, like the gameplay stuff. But then they'll start uploading shit like Minecraft or like Call of Duty, and it's like, okay, we've got to yank your monetization.
Right, because you're not providing porn to a porn site when all you're doing is gaming. Like real games that can go on Twitch and shit. But you're specifically making videos of adult games.
Yep, believe it or not, to pay for a comic to make a comic that's for kids and teens. Don't question it too much.
I don't plan to.
However, I do think Pornhub should compete with YouTube.
Maybe I should create a Pornhub account to do the sitcom, because I plan on there being lots of violence and nudity like Game of Thrones for my sitcom, and I don't know where to put it.
Actually, you know what? No joke, do it with that in Xvids, and their comment sections will be a lot less cancerous than on YouTube. And
well, that's because everyone's relaxed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they've already had a good time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking maybe I should just make my own website when it comes time to do the sitcom, because I can't put what I truly want to do with the sitcom when the village is built and I have actors and all that good stuff. I can't put that on YouTube.
What about BitChute?
BitChute's a possibility because it isn't.
They let me put my uncensored stuff.
Yeah,
on
they have a not safe for work. They have a not safe for work and not safe for life tag, but they don't have the user base that X videos and like.
Well, you can go on if you're doing as long as there's adult on it, they'll allow you.
I know that. That's not what I'm getting at. Is they have some more growth to get done. If I want to grow an audience, they have some more growing to do. I love BitChute, I really do, but they don't have near the network.
Oh no, I agree, and also
audience members that porn sites and YouTube has. YouTube is still the best place to basically grow an audience.
It'll actually work because Sinatra says has a Pornhub account that he uploads his actual videos to, and he's gotten subs off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do they let him do that when there's no porn?
His voice.
It's super easy. You just upload your video. By the way, Rimshoe, we have a Pornhub account. I didn't want to reveal it to you this way, but yeah.
This doesn't surprise me, but good to know.
All right, we know why he's been whipping out his dick.
Well,
yeah, I fully it makes so much sense now.
All right, well, this conversation got annoying, so I'm leaving.
It needs to end.
It's been 2 hours. It's 10:30 at night, and I started at 8:30, and I don't like to go over 2 hours. So I'm going to stop it here. Thank you all for coming on. Here's your chance to shill. Everybody, you can put your links in the chat. If you don't have a wrench, type something, and I will give you a wrench. But go ahead. Just we'll start with who's the furthest. Adian, do you have anything to show?
I have a YouTube channel with no content.
All right, so you have nothing to show. Dude, if you're still there.
Yeah, I'm here. I got a channel. It's Hey Dude 77. I posted the link in the chat. Come check out my channel.
All right, and we've got Jables Boogly, aka Micronaut.
Let's just take some Discord on YouTube, and then follow me on Twitter at Jables Boogly.
Mm-hmm. What the hell happened to my comic book?
Stop interrupting people. Jesus Christ! It's madness!
It's the Sparta.
All right, who next on the list is Purity Sin.
I've got a YouTube channel. I do also have a comic book. Unfortunately, it's been taken down, which is a little odd. I was going to show that, but I guess I can't right now. So check out my YouTube channel. I do, believe it or not, normal games as well. I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow of Batman Arkham City in honor of Batman's birthday. And I am not as dirty as people think.
Yeah, that's a dirty lie.
Dirty lie from a dirty whore.
Yep, go subscribe. Purity Sin does some fun stuff. Race, you're next.
I've had a lot of different content over the years, but lately all I've been doing is puppy videos with heavy metal dubbed over them. Like my most famous one is Bark Terra.
Congratulations, I
You should
hate
do
you.
some sabotage.
Yes, I agree with that. Rimshi.
Well, I'd be chilling the Lesser Saints channel again. We've got Jables, who's an idiot, myself, and we have a not trans, cross-dresser.
All right, Micronaut and Rimshi. That's awesome. And
Magog, you don't have to be such an asshole. Jeez.
yeah, I do.
He's being kind to you, Jables. Let it be.
I literally get paid to be an asshole, so don't tell me that shit. And finally, the Celtic. You got anything, man?
Yeah, I only got my own channel here. I've only uploaded like 2 videos about my car in it. Nothing worthwhile.
So you just wanted to come on here and join the chaos?
Hell yes, I did.
All righty.
I'll set up my channel later.
Yep. Well, thank you all for coming. That's everybody. Purity Sin just dropped out. She was like, "Fuck these people," and we'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for your donations.
Have fun.
You bastard.